All right, greeting everyone. We are very happy to be here with you.
Hello.
I introduce Mon Amour, Oshala, to you guys, and we are going to be doing the class together. Oshala, the particularity of Oshala is that I witnessed her learning from ground zero. So she will, we are going to do a couple of videos and she's going to give you the perspective of the learner, okay? I saw her go through the whole thing that learners go through. So, there we are. Okay, we know that you have watched the video on the walking, the 4 stages of walking. We are now going to put everything together and see how the walking actually is done in the couple, in the partner walking, the partner dancing, okay? So,
And it's all about the walking. It really, truly is. When you're beginning, you aren't even as aware of how much the walking is so important. As you start to go into more intermediate and advanced levels, you come back to the very beginning of walking.
yes, indeed. In tango, the lady is the center of the dance. I am aware of the fact that we live in a world that is kind of complex. If we wanted to be politically correct, we would say people use the terms leader, follower. But I want to bring to your attention that these words, leader, follower, they are in English. In the Latin language, you don't call yourself a leader and call the other person the follower. That's an insult. So we are, during the course of these videos, we are going to say, I'm going to say the man, the guy, and the lady, the woman. And from time to time, we would say the leading partner and the following partner. So in tango, and what is the most easier for me is to say the man and the woman. So in tango, the woman, the lady, she's the center of the dance. We don't say that to please the lady. Now, it's true. And I'm now talking to the guys. Our job in tango, it is to open the door. In other words, the beautiful creature that the woman symbolizes, because she symbolizes the feminine energy, right? We're getting deeper and deeper now. She gives us the honor to promenade her. She gives us the permission to walk and support her walking. Now, question to the guys, to the gentlemen. When you open the door to someone, do you rush into the space? The answer is no. If you rush into the space, you will clash. You open the door, you wait. When she begins to go into the space, what do? You turn into a follower. You follow her so that you can open the next door. That's exactly what happens in tango. We keep opening the door to her so that she can walk in, okay? And she's going to walk in the way she feels, okay?
And what I like to use with the terms leader and follower, because it's a real denigration of what that really means, is that the lead is leading by invitation. Opening the door is an invitation to enter in, and then I follow with power. So from the follower's perspective, from the feminine perspective, I may be following, but it's not following at all. It is stepping into a space with power.
Absolutely. And the beauty of what Oshala just described to us is what? As I support her walking, I end up myself walking. That's the magic of tango. As I support her walking, I end up dancing. My first teacher used to say to me, Jean-Pierre, she is the one dancing, not you. It's very deep. So I'm inviting you guys, the gentlemen, to really get that concept in right now. Tango, we're not pushing her or pulling her into the space. We're opening the space, opening the door to her. As she proceeds, we follow her and open the next one. Okay? So that is the frame in which we are working. So, the moment I'm going to have you, mon amour, we are going to be like this so that they see everything that we're doing. The moment we touch each other, we create automatically a third axis. And the third axis is right here in the middle. Whether I'm holding Oshara open like this or close embrace, that third axis is always there. Now, what do the two partners do? They commit towards the third axis. I'm not holding her away from me, I'm holding her towards the third axis. As you can see, we have a certain degree of inclination towards each other. But in other words, we are giving each other a little bit of our weight, but not to the point where if I'm not here, she's falling, or if she's not there, I'm falling. So as you can see, the tango dancer receives the weight through the metatarsals, not the heel, not the toes either, metatarsals. And for the ladies, because you're wearing high heels, you're already there. You don't need to do anything else. The heels put you to the metatarsals. Very important to remember. So, we are both committed towards the third axis. What it does, it locks up the torso level. And anything that I do, she's going to feel it through the third axis. Okay? Now, because she's the center of the dance, my job is to know which foot of hers does not have weight so that I can invite her to walk. One detail, I'm going to go back just a little bit. When you come to the embrace, ladies, put yourself in the forward context. In other words, Oshara, she is going that way and I'm going that way. We are both in the forward context. And the consequence of that is what? Is that this side of our shoulders, when we open, is going to open for both of us. Okay? You will see that. So let me go back now to here. I was saying that it's my job to know which foot of hers does not have weight. I'm going to have her switch weight on one foot. And because she's in the forward context, you see that her right is open and my left is open. We're mirroring each other. We are actually creating space to that side. Now, the compression that we did becomes the element of invitation. Gentlemen, you invite the lady first before you indicate to her your intention. So we have two things. And the compression is your invitation. You compress, invitation, and then intention. When you give the intention, you simply make your body go where you feel that the two of you should go. She's going to feel it. Now, let her go slightly ahead of you, but manage to arrive with her. Invitation, intention, I 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 arrive with her. I'm going to explain more to the guys. Because right now, we have entered a place where, gentlemen, your job is going to be more and more important and refined. let me explain. When I say I arrived with her, my first teacher gave me a phrase. When you walk with a lady, say to yourself that you are receiving her step. When she steps, when she lands, you say to yourself, I receive her step. I receive her step. Because you heard me say that I'm letting her go slightly ahead of me. Because I'm letting her go slightly ahead of me, I do a mental quick harmonization. You can call it calculation to arrive with her. So the phrase, I receive her step, helps me calculate how to arrive with her. So let us do it one more time. We are going to start here so that we have space. So, I put my partner on one foot. Invitation, intention, I receive her step. I receive. I receive. I receive. You see that she's going slightly ahead of me. I receive. I receive. I receive. I receive. I receive. I receive her step. 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 Now, there's one thing that Oshana did that you ladies, you did not see. And we are going to bring it to you. We said the moment we invite you to put yourself on one foot, be in the forward context. So she's in the forward context. So when is she going to reverse her torso to walk in the backward context? Because we don't need that. She is going to do it, look, we are going to do it slowly. Invitation, when I give her the intention, look what she's going to do with her torso. You see, she's now walking backwards.
And my torso, I am actually subtly moving from here as I enter into the space. So you're really moving from here. When I take that step, I'm here in the forward context, here. So I would be going forward, but if I'm going back, I'm actually still holding this third axis, but I now
There you go.
here. So I go from here
To here.
from here to here.
Excellent. That's the technique, ladies. Okay. We are now going to walk more, now that we've explained to you the protocol of the two bodies. By the way, one more demonstration that we can do. We are going to walk still open, but we want you to see how the two bodies with the upper body counter position actually interact. Okay? I'm going to have the two of us. Let me see, what is the best way to do it? We are going to go like this in a close embrace. We will explain to you a little later the protocol of the close embrace, but we just want you to see how the upper body counter position is working. Okay? So, I invite her to be on, I'm going to hold her on one side like this, okay? But this side is open. So, you see how the two torso participate with each other.
And notice that I'm not looking straight in his face. I'm looking right over his shoulder.
In other words, the two bodies forever do this. There is not one body doing this to the other. Both function like this. Because we're mirroring each other, it works perfectly. This movement. Okay? This is what I use. This is what we are now going to use as I'm walking with Oshala around this room. The job of the guys is getting more and more precise and more refined. Okay. We are now going to walk. We are going to explain to you the difference between the parallel walking and the cross walking. What is the parallel walking? When she's standing by herself, like this.
And jump here, before you move on, I would say that our job in the walking is to be present, step by step, and not anticipate, but to be right in the moment, being on one foot. That's a challenge in the beginning because sometimes we feel like we need to be doing something else, but what we actually really want to be is present on one foot.
And it's because she is present that our job to open the door to her is clarified. You are the center of the dance. If you are confused and anticipating all over the place, you are actually impeding in our ability to open the space to you. Okay? So, as Oshala is standing, you see that she's standing with her feet closer to each other. The moment we touch each other, we become one entity that has 4 legs. That's how we see it. We are one entity, a new entity that has 4 legs. Therefore, if I'm walking with her, I have to replace the foot that she is taking away. That's what makes the walking of the two of us happen. We are going to demonstrate. Compression invitation. Look, I replace the foot that she took away. I replace the foot she took away. When I'm walking towards her, you replace the foot that she took away. You replace the foot. You replace the foot.
So we don't have to worry that he's going to step on our foot.
At the beginning, we struggle with that because we don't want to step on her foot. But you have to be confident that by the time you arrive, her foot is not there. Step straight into her. The lady is going to have the same challenge when the time comes to walk towards the partner. The brain says, oh, be careful, don't step on his foot. No. Step straight into the partner. Okay? So, I'm bringing to everybody one element of the walking that is very important. We are going to see each other's 2 feet as 2 tracks. When we are walking like in front of each other, we are replacing the tracks of the foot that she is taking away, right? But we are also going to imagine a track here and a track here. She's going to imagine a track on my body, a track on this side of my body, and another track on the other side of my body. So we have 4 tracks on the floor. Those 4 tracks, it's very important for the guys to always remember that whether you're walking in the parallel walking or in the cross system, you still have those 4 tracks on the floor that you can use. Okay? So, parallel walk.
So even though we're in parallel walking, again, from the masculine energy's perspective, that is navigating those 4 tracks, we really still want to be present to being in front of the partner. I like to think of like a flashlight going from here, from my chest, right into his chest. So even though we're going in the parallel walking, I'm right here present, right in the center.
And from the lady's perspective, you always step on a straight line behind you. because the navigation is on the guides. Yeah, straight line behind you. Okay.
So I'm not going like this
Yes.
because he's going over there. I'm not doing that. I'm still going straight back. And that's why I want to be right here in front of him. Right there. Right there.
Okay. So we are going to do one round around the room in a parallel walking. We're still doing everything open like this so that you see everything that we're doing. Okay? So this is parallel walking. One more time. I'm replacing the foot that she's taking away. I'm replacing the foot. 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 The navigation. How did I have her to curve? Since she is walking a straight line behind her, I simply step out. I step out, she's going to pivot. The theory is the following. Wherever your torso turns, your feet accommodate your torso. Let me demonstrate. If I turn my torso, look, my feet have no other choice but to follow my torso. That's what is happening. When she is stepping, because I'm stepping out, her torso does a little pivot, her feet on the floor. Because the torso is turning a little bit, the foot on the floor turns also. That's how we navigate the corners. We are going to keep bringing that to you. So now let's go into the cross system. The cross system means that, as you can see, when we were doing the parallel walking, my left was in correspondence to her right. Okay? In a cross system, all of a sudden, my left is going to be in correspondence to her left. How do we do that? We do that by doing a switch of weight before she lands. In other words, gentlemen, you give her the signal to go. As she commits to going, you switch weight to go into the cross system. It takes some practice to do it. So let me do it slowly so that you see. Invitation, intention. Invitation, intention. When you are in the cross system, in order to go back to her system, you have to switch weight again without her switching. Cross system. And parallel system again here. 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 Cross system. I still have 4 tracks on the floor. There, 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 there.
And don't worry if your knees hit in the beginning. It's okay. Because eventually as you start to go into a close embrace, the knees touching each other is not a big deal.
Now, I'm going to explain to the guys how you get into the cross system, okay? There are 2 places to do it. This is what I did. What I just did, I did this, and during the collection, I switch weight. That's how you go into the cross system without perturbing her walking. Because when you're walking with a lady, if you stop and switch weight, she's going to switch weight with you. So you have to have her committed to her step so that your switch of weight does not perturb her. So you do it as you are coming to collection. This is the quick that I was talking about. So you walk and then you do quick. it does not perturb her walking. The other place to do it, and I'm going to explain why you would do the second way. The first way, if you're walking with her and then you realize that because of her intuitive nature, if she picks up your switch of weight, you realize that she is actually picking up your switch of weight. What you do, you simply arrive normally, then you invite her, send her, and then switch weight and walk. Okay? The feminine nature of the lady puts her really at a place of very, very high intuitive abilities. Sometimes she would actually pick up your switch of weight. When that happens, do the second method. It's like you walk, invitation, intention, you switch weight, you walk again. Okay? That's the way to do it. Because you don't want to be predictable. She gives you the permission to open the door, but if you open the door all the time the same way, you are going to become a boring dancer. And she's not going to want to dance with you. So, you have to create constantly new places to make it exciting. Okay? That's how we do it. So, let me demonstrate one more time. This time I'm going to hold her like this so that you see how we're going from parallel walking to the cross system. Okay?
And I didn't feel that really. He's very smooth. So even though he is in that cross system, I'm still walking straight back.
Okay? There's an element of the technique that you don't see the dancer do. And I'm going to reveal that to you. This is what it is. You saw me kind of zigzagging around her without perturbing the straight line that she's taking. How did I do that? And you didn't see me do. Now, okay? The reason is this. It comes from the walking technique. We said, bend to go, place and push, turn the chest, collect. When I collect, the knee is collecting also. It's not just this. The knee is collecting. But look, when my knee is collecting, it passes actually her center. If your knee passes the center to this side, you're good to go to that side without having to do this. Okay? This is a little clue for the guys because you don't see the dancer do that when they're dancing. You just see them go from one side to the other and you're wondering how is he doing that without bumping into her? That's the technique. Because our job here is really to share with you the things that we receive and that have served us very well. Okay? So we did the parallel walking, we did the cross system walking, and I think for this session, unless Oshala you want to add something?
Just to reiterate, staying present, 1 foot at a time, initiating the movement from the chest, but really what we feel on our end, or what I feel when I'm initiating that movement from the chest, I really feel my core muscles really engaging. Because if I'm doing from the chest, I might think, oh, just here, right? But this here is really what's engaged. And as I open from here, right here, the shoulder, the chest opens up. So it's really initiating from the torso in that sense. And the chest opens up space. So I would say that and staying right in front, the chest of the other partner as we walk. Step back. And don't be afraid that he's going to step on your foot.
All right. I think it will make sense that we give them one little nugget before we close the class. We will do the close embrace. Let's go over the protocol of the close embrace. When the dancers are in the close embrace, I'm going to get closer to you so that you see what I'm trying to show you. You have the impression that they are like this, isn't it? You have that impression. But it's an illusion, my friends. It is not up, down. It is actually down, up. And I'm going to explain what it means. What's the difference? It's down, up. If you do up, down, you will hold the partner. You'll be holding the partner like this. And you see that it breaks your axis. No. Down, up means that what I'm going to give my partner is actually the center part of my torso, not the upper part, the center part of my torso. And you see, our axis is reestablished. Okay? And because we are committed towards the third axis, this is what you need in a close embrace.
And it feels very safe because it's not, because the illusion in tango is either that we're doing this, which can feel a little invasive, or that we are with our lower part of our bodies connected, and that's not true. It's really the power center, and in different traditions it's called different things, but you're really connected in your power center. So since you're connected in your power center, there's a natural boundary, there's a natural sense of that you are safe inside of your own body, because you can always disconnect.
There you go. So we are going to change position because I'm going to travel with Oshala without using the hands, so that you see that when this protocol is in place, truly you could dance with her without using your arms. You can walk with her, doing what we were saying earlier, switching without her switching, doing all that without the need of the arms. Invitation, intention, invitation, intention, invitation, intention, invitation, intention, invitation, intention. You can even have her do, all of a sudden, unusual things such as pivots. Now, the arms simply, how do you put it, confirm the connection that you establish with the body. I'm not grabbing her. It's a very delicate holding. It gives an additional feeling so that you can lead her in all directions.
And that exercise is really a good one. It's not as easy as it might look, but it's very helpful for when you come back to the embrace, because the embrace feels very easy.
And it's a promenade. The tango experience is really a walking experience. It's a promenade with a partner. In a close embrace or in the open embrace. You have the 4 tracks around her that you can use. And all of a sudden, you can surprise her by being in a cross system. She's going to begin to do what we call in tango the ochos, the pivots. All right, my friends? We wish you good practice in the art of walking.
In the art of walking. And this is social dancing. So not getting it confused with the Fantasia and doing flips. This is really a dance of connection. And so Jean-Pierre will speak more on that in future classes. But this is really just being very present, the walking, and remember to breathe. Thank you.
See you next time, the next video.